I'm recording. Good. So, this is new. I'm going to do a reading. I went to go to bed, and my beautiful, beautiful wife is laid across the bed, and she's asleep, and she doesn't sleep very often. Uh-oh, she might be moving around. Doesn't matter. But, I'm going to do a reading. This is from the 1599 Geneva Bible. And it's my go-to every day of my life that just makes it happen for me. And it's Psalms 23. And it's, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to rest in green pastures, and leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul, and leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. I'm sorry, my mouth is very dry. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou dost, that just means you do, prepare a table before me in the sight of mine adversaries, and thou dost anoint my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Doubtless kindness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall remain a long season in the house of the Lord. Well, let's talk about that. In order for this to make sense, you have to know, I don't know, a few things. Number one, this is written by King David. King David was God's king. He was also a screw-up. Don't think he wasn't. But he used to get out there and dance for God. He loved God. And in all his falling downs, and as Christians, we do fall down over and over and over again, all the way to heaven. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. This is figuring on we rely on God. That means if we put him first in our lives, he's usually going to take care of us. You know, he just does. You will find that this world is controlled by Satan. It is. It's in the Bible. Look it up. But God gets in and helps. He truly, truly does. In every way. But you got to let him in. And you got to be kind of doing it his way because he's your daddy. So, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures and leads me beside the still waters. He does. You think about it. If you're jiving with your family and kind of doing what God wants, you know, I will say when you first start doing what God wants, it's a beating. Satan does not want you to go do what God wants. But as long as you keep doing it and you work it out in your head, and it takes other people. But I digress. But he does, man. God doesn't want you dealing with all this crap. If you're doing something in your life that is making you crazy angry every day, then you're not doing it right. It's just not. You know, this world is a different place than it was when I was a kid. I married my wife 32 years ago. We were teenagers, you know, and we're all we have at this point. And you get to grow into that. And that's, I know the new generation is figuring that out. But anyway, I digress. So, but putting God first, if you do it. And I've been asked about tithing. I got a bunch of that from that other thing. I don't know where that came from, but if you're an active member of a church going to that church, you need to be tithing. And I always have. That's the truth. If I am going to a church every Sunday, I tithe. Then I set my baseline at 10%, and I always tried to do more, but that was my baseline. I never got above that, I gotta admit. But there it is. I never ran empty when I did it. When I did it, even when I couldn't afford it, it hurt the first few times, but if I kept doing it, I never ran empty, and I found out that I had exactly the same amount of money, if not more, at the end of the day, than if I wouldn't have tithed. Sorry, that's how I feel. He restores my souls. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Read the Bible. He will lead you to where you need to go, but you got to get to know him. You got to treat him like your daddy. You got to get to know him. Getting to know him, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Acts is another good one. And then go into the rest of the Bible. Start with those. And then read the Old Testament too, because then you get to realize, wow, that's who we were talking. Never mind. And then we get this one. Every one of us, and this could be anything from being a soldier boy. My son's a soldier boy. He's been all over this world and will continue to go. He's going to retire. He was a Marine, now he's an Army boy. Oh, you talk about being proud. Everybody thinks that when it says, I'm sorry, this one gets me every time, and I get choked up, and I'm kind of dry. The Bible doesn't say killing puts you in hell. It says murder. Killing is what your soldiers do for you. Killing is what you do to defend your life. Killing is not a murder. That is premeditated. I have chosen to end another one of God's creatures' lives. And I don't mean a deer. That's food, so don't go there. So yea, though I was... I'm sorry. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. For you are with me. I'm just going to say it that way. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. This is translated in, look, man, God, even if you're not a Jesus freak, even if you don't know who Jesus is, even if you're an asshole who sits there and is an atheist and says, I hate Jesus, I hate you, I don't care, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. He don't care. He's still your daddy. He's still there with you. But if you don't turn around and look at him, you ain't never going to see him. I have been through some terrible crap. I am literally living on my brother's land by his grace because of MS and heart attacks. And Jesus still takes care of me. I don't know how we get through the month, but we do. I've seen more death than most people will ever see in their lives, and it sucks every time. God doesn't stop your bones from breaking. He doesn't stop the hard stuff from happening. People think he does. He don't. And they go, why? Why wouldn't you? Well, this is yours. You deal with this. You get through school. You have your free will. Otherwise, you're just robots walking around doing nothing. That's not what he wants. You're kids to him. It's like you have kids. But if you want to get into my house, you've got to do what I want. But if you do what I want, I will take care of you all the way. And even if you're not doing what I want, I'm still going to stand beside you, and all you got to do is turn and look at me. And that's what he means by, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will be with you. Thou prepare a table in the sight of my adversaries. Thou anoint my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. He's saying no matter what you have going on in your life, if you will just let me take care of it, if you believe in me and you do what I ask you to do, and you live the way I tell you to live, you don't got to worry about it. You don't got to worry about it. Sit down and have dinner. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. Deal with what comes tomorrow. Doubtless kindness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall remain a long season of the house of the Lord. What that means is, if I do everything what you want, if I jive like you want, then I'm going to live a long, happy life. And you're going to take care of me. And because you do, it's going to filter down into everyone else. That's what it means. This is God's way of saying, I will absolutely hold you in every way. I'm not going to stop the bad stuff from happening from you, but I will stand with you. And if you do what I want, you're not going to see near the bad stuff you want. Or you, I'm sorry, not that you want, but that you would if I wasn't standing with you. There's an absurdity to the world out there that makes that hard. Have you ever had a bad day as a kid and you went and hugged your dad, grabbed hold of him? I never had that. Just didn't. But when I was a kid, I had it with my grandpa. So I understand it. That's what it is. You could stand to be mad at your dad because of how bad your life's going or anything else. You could stand and be mad at your dad and not want to talk to him. You could stand to be mad at your dad for anything in the world. But he wrote thousands of years ago that thing right there, and it speaks to you and me going, you know what, go hug that man. It don't matter who you're mad at. He's showing you right there. I'm sorry. He's showing you right over there. That it don't matter what you're mad at. It don't. What matters is knock your crap off. Go hug your daddy. Because he's going to take care of you. And right here, Psalms 23 shows you that. But if you want to be at your daddy's table, don't forget you got to be doing it his way. I love y'all. I hope that helps. I'm going to stop the recording now. And screw MS. Screw it to the damn ground. And be a hard ass. God bless.